Welcome to sudoCODE. A very happy Diwali to all of you. I hope you had a great weekend, good Diwali celebrations. I wish you and your family health, wealth, and prosperity. Now, today we are going to talk about one of the patterns from the previous videos, publish subscribe pattern in message queues. In today's video, we will discuss a recap of asynchronous communication, message queues, how publish subscribe is one of the model of message queues, the terminology and jargon related to PubSub model, some technical details and some examples. And in the next subsequent video, which will be a part 2 of this video, we will discuss what are the use cases for PubSub pattern, where it should be used, how it is beneficial, and where it should not be used. So without further ado, let's get started. In the previous video, we discussed the difference between synchronous communication and asynchronous communication. If you have already watched that video, you can skip this part from the links below and directly jump on to where we start discussing the PubSub pattern. If not, I am just going to recap it to build some context. And then we will discuss how message queues is a mechanism for async communication. And then we will move on to the actual PubSub pattern. So think about this. Whenever you send a request through an API and you instantly get a response, that is synchronous processing. Example for this is when you make a phone call to a friend and they respond to your phone call, that is synchronous answering. Like you make a call, they instantly pick up the phone and answer. So you get response instantaneously. On the other hand, sending someone a text or an email is an example of async messaging, where you just send them a message or a text or an email and they reply whenever they check your messages or whenever they have time to respond to your messages. So it's async. You're not anticipating or waiting for a reply almost instantaneously unless it's a special someone. So that is asynchronous messaging. Now, or asynchronous communication. Now, why asynchronous communication is needed in microservices or it's needed in system building? So, as we discussed, APIs are a way for different components to interact with each other, so that one component can, ask for particular information or ask for particular competition to another model, and another model can respond to the same. There are some components in the system where communication is still needed, but instantaneous or real-time communication might not be required. And in that case, asynchronous communication comes into the picture, where multiple components can talk to each other, but they just pass messages from one component to another and don't wait around for responses. So we discussed in the previous video about message queues. Message queues is a way to decouple two components, where the component which is sending a message is called a producer, and the component which is consuming that message and taking some action over it is called a consumer. And the channel which is connecting this producer and consumer is called a message queue, where all the messages are kept and they are processed one by the consumer. This was a brief of asynchronous communication, how it is carried using message queues. Message queues, like single one-to-one message queues, is one of the model of how asynchronous communication is carried out in systems. Another important model is publish subscribe model, or it is also known as a PubSub pattern, which is also a pattern for asynchronous communication between different components. Before I go into the details of PubSub terminology like topics, partitions, publisher, subscriber, message broker, etc., I want to give an example using an analogy of what publish subscribe pattern looks like, or maybe how it gets its inspiration from. So let's look at that analogy first. If you guys are fans of watching medical dramas or like doctor dramas like Grey's Anatomy or House, etc., you would know how high pressure environment it is for doctors and how do they work every day, like interns, residents, specialists, etc. So let's take their example. Let's suppose there are interns, doctors, and experts, and there are different emergency rooms and different emergency units in a very big hospital. So usually, what happens every day for any interns or doctors, like how their work carries on for a day. So, example of an API is any doctor would have a phone number where they might get a phone call and they would have to respond almost instantaneously, or they might even get a call at night at their home that you have to attend to this particular case. That is just like an API call. You are sending a request to that particular doctor or resident, and you want a response from them instantaneously. Okay. Now, how we can think of their work in terms of message queues. So this is how it works. Like suppose there is intern 1, intern 2, and intern 3. Before these interns start their shift in early in the morning, they will have some cases lined up, like C1, C2, C3. And as soon as they start their shift, they will come and start picking up cases one by one. So this is like message queuing. All these cases do not require immediate attention, but they do require some processing. And so these files are already assigned to these interns, and they just have to start their day by picking up every file and visiting the respective patients. So this is an example of message queues. Okay. Now comes the picture of how publish subscribe would work here, right? So if you have noticed that there are pagers given to these interns and residents and doctors, so when their pager beeps, they almost instantaneously respond. So that pager could be thought of as a particular event or a particular message coming to that person. Okay. Again, if there is a very high emergency case, in that case, if you have noticed, what happens is on a particular floor of the hospital or in the complete hospital, an announcement starts going on. Like we are trying to page so and so doctor, there is an emergency case. Now, two things can happen there. Either that announcement is made for everyone in a particular department, or that announcement is made for all the people in the hospital, or that announcement is made only for interns. So that announcement can have different categories. So let's suppose that announcement is made for interns to gather in a particular room. Maybe there is some official communication that has to happen, or maybe an emergency case has come up and they have to send a few interns out of all of these interns to a particular location to rescue some people. I don't know, whatever. So that could be one example of a broadcast or a publish message, like a broadcast message. So all interns have to gather. Now note, this particular event is meant only for interns. Next, there could be an emergency announcement only for childcare department. And childcare department is like, say, one floor is allocated to the childcare department, and there an emergency announcement happens. So in that case, all the children specialists have to gather. Okay. Similarly, one announcement can happen for ER. Like say there is a general ER, and some bad accident case or some unusual case has come to the ER, and again this announcement happens. So people, those who are on ER duty on that day, would have to gather in that room, ER room, to attend to the request. Another kind of announcement that could happen is that there is a fire in the building and everybody has to evacuate. In that case, everybody, including doctors, nurses, everybody else, whoever works in hospital in whatever way, that is meant for all of them. So they have to evacuate from there. Now, the point I'm trying to make here is that some times the communication or some events that are happening in a system, those events might have to be attended or consumed by either a group of people or a particular group of people, like particular specialist, or all of them, right? So this is where how you can understand publish subscriber pattern. Okay. Now when I'm going to explain the technical details of PubSub pattern, this analogy would make much more sense. Okay. So let's look into that. Now let's talk about the details of PubSub pattern and the terminology. In any system, a component which is sending messages or which is publishing messages, which is telling the whole system that some event has happened, like an order has been placed, or a customer has clicked a particular button, or this data it has been entered into the system. Events like this, whoever informs the whole system about that, or whoever takes the responsibility of bringing that information from outside to inside the system, that is called publisher. In case of one-on-one message queues, we are calling this a producer. These terms could be used interchangeably, but this is called publisher mostly because the idea behind the pattern is that publisher just publishes messages, and whoever wants to react to it, they react. So hence the word publisher. Then there is an input channel. So input channel is where a publisher is going to send that message. Like it would be architecturally, it will be some physical component which is going to store the events or the messages that publisher is producing. So it is called input channel. Then there is output channel. So there might be cases where when the messages are published in the input channel, they are transferred from input channel to output channel through various mechanisms. It can happen like these messages could be broken down, their format could change, or like those can be categorized into different topics. So that's why output channel is separate. Okay, don't worry about this middle part. I'll come to it, and don't get confused by the word topic. We'll get to it. But just understand for now, there is publisher, there is input channel where the events are published, there is output channel where subscribers or consumers who want to react to those messages subscribe to. Again, this is accomplished through hardwares and different modules. So they subscribe to this output channel and then react accordingly to whatever messages. Okay. Now there can be multiple output channels for multiple subscribers. For example, subscriber 1 wants to react to only one particular kind of message and not all the messages that the publisher is producing. If every subscriber reacts to every message produced by publisher, we will not be able to scale the system, and it won't be good for performance, because in the real world scenarios also, it won't be possible that the subscribers have to listen to every message. It will just be noise. So there can be different output channels for different subscribers, and subscribers opt to choose only those messages which they are concerned with. Okay, so this is the basic terminology of a pub-sub pattern: publisher, subscribers, input channel, output channel. There is a need for a message broker here, which takes care of multiple responsibilities. So one of the responsibility is that publisher is publishing the events in some format. Maybe that data or that format has to be modified, or maybe it has to be enriched with some other data, and then it has to be passed on to the output channel. So message broker can take care of that responsibility. And second, message broker can divide the messages into different topics. So suppose that like 1,000 messages are coming in, and those 1,000 messages can be divided into four categories of 250 each. So we divide them into 250 topics. So that task is done by message broker of dividing those messages into different topics, and then subscriber listen to particular topic on that output channel and then react accordingly. Okay, I know this is a lot to take in, so just let's take it step by step. If we go back to our analogy of publishing, so think about this. Whenever an announcement on a particular floor happens, suppose the event comes into the system, like an ER announcement has to happen, right? So the patient and the accident patient, or whatever, like emergency situation patient has come into the hospital, that is like publisher. Okay, that entity doesn't know whom to reach or where to go. They just enter the hospital, and so the publisher just says that there is an emergency case. Now there are some authorities and some people in the hospital which decide where this particular message has to be published. They will not publish this ER message to everyone in the building. They know who are on the duty today, and which floor ER people are supposed to be found on, and which floor this patient has to be taken on. And that's why they publish that message, or basically they route that message to those people who are responsible, and they announce this message on that floor which is responsible of taking care of ER cases. And that is what message broker is doing. And subscribers are the doctors and the team who are responsible to handle the ER. Maybe they have pagers, or maybe they are on duty on that floor. So since they are on duty on that floor, that means they are subscribing to whatever happens related to that floor, and they will react to this ER event by attending to that patient. I hope this analogy and this overview makes sense. Now what we will do, we will take a real world example of this and understand it in detail. Now let's take one real world scenario where this pattern is used or can be used. An e-commerce site or e-commerce product site where you can buy different things from, like Flipkart, Amazon, etc. Now let's say an order gets placed. You purchase for a particular thing and you just place an order. So the information that enters into the system is that a customer has placed an order. So publisher can send a message saying order placed and order ID. It just gives these two details, form it in a message or event. We'll get to event based architecture and what is the difference between message and events later on. I don't want to confuse you guys right here. So for now, just understand it sends a message order placed with order ID. So order placed is the text form of the message, and order ID is the data it contains. Now, what broker will do? It might be possible that broker has to take this order ID, fetch some more details related to order, like what time it was created, when it was created, who created it, what is the email ID of the user who created it. Maybe broker has to do all these things, okay? And then it enriches this message, or basically adds more data and more context to this message and sends it to the output channel. Now, when order is placed, an SMS has to be sent to the user, an email has to be sent to the user. Maybe there are systems where you want to log, like when a particular order was placed. So, logging service also has to listen to this order placed event, and then it has to go to order processing service finally, where it will get processed and passed through different states, and finally it will be completed. Also, okay, I wrote logging service twice here. We can cut this out. Fine. So different services or different subscribers have subscribed to this particular event, and once this event gets placed in the output channel, they will react accordingly to this event. The SMS service will send an SMS, email service will send an email, order service will start processing it, logging service will just take the data and keep it and store in some log store. Okay. When one particular event has happened, different subscribers have reacted to that event in different manners so that the whole flow can be completed. Now, see, order place is just one event. There can be multiple events like that, right? There could be an event item added to cart. There could be an event a user clicked on subscribe now button for the newsletters, right? So, for every event, all these services do not have to subscribe. For example, the event add cart, maybe only the logging service wants to react to that event add cart. Other services don't have to react at that time. Like you will not get an SMS probably when you add something to cart, right? So in that case, they will not subscribe to that particular event, and that's why these all these events can be divided into different topics. When they are divided into different topics, or like you can think of topics as subsets of messages. So order related messages, then cart related messages, and so on and so forth. So there can be different topics created, and on those topics there could be different output channels to which subscribers will subscribe to and react. I hope this makes sense. This is done in order to decouple the components. The publisher who is sending the messages doesn't care about what is happening to those messages. It just pushes the messages and confirms to the sending party that this message has been acknowledged, it has been received by the system. Now system will take care of it. These subscribers also don't have to give an instantaneous response. They can process in an asynchronous manner with this event and do the needful. So one thing is clear from this pattern, that it is required when you have to decouple your components. Like here, scaling of publisher, scaling of subscribers is decoupled because they do not depend on each other. They are just communicating with each other through this message channel. In some cases, this is event bus also. So that is one benefit. And second benefit is like these can be scaled. Your system can take a lot of load. When suppose the number of messages are increasing, you can increase the number of subscribers, or you can create different channels. You can create different input output channels. You can have multiple topics, and that actually divides into like distributed architecture. But then this allows scaling of the systems very easily, and decoupling of the systems very easily. I hope the previous analogy and the real world scenario gave you an overview of a pub sub pattern. Now let's discuss few points that you have to consider, or you should know the factors for pub sub pattern. We discussed ordering and consumption in the one-to-one model as well. That what is the order of your messages? Are your messages getting processed in the order they are getting pushed into the input channel? In case of PubSub, the ordering is not defined or guaranteed. Consumption again, here it's not like one-to-one consumption. Here there are different subscribers to react to a certain message. If you want ordering though, there is a pattern called a priority queue pattern. Like you have to implement somehow the priority. You have to attach priority to messages if you want certain ordering in PubSub pattern. Usually it's not the use case, but that's a way to achieve ordering if it is absolutely necessary. Otherwise, what you have to do is you have to make your applications agnostic to the ordering of the messages. You have to take care of that in applications. It might so happen that you have integrated with some other third party software or third party architecture, and you are communicating with that component using PubSub pattern. and that party sends like malformed messages or wrong messages. So there has to be handling of such kind of messages, or maybe like you have to discard such kind of messages. Then there can be repeated messages also. So this has to be taken care of, because suppose if an order gets placed twice, and in response to that, money for that from that person's account gets directed twice, that should not happen. So duplication of messages is one of the important factors that you have to consider when you're trying to implement PubSub pattern. So that was a brief overview of technical details of PubSub patterns and a brief recap of what is asynchronous communication, what are message queues, and how PubSub is one of the flavors of message queuing. In part 2, we are going to discuss different use cases, real world use cases, which require the implementation of this pattern, and we will also discuss where it cannot be used. So don't forget to check out the part 2. There are some links in the description that you can refer for more details. And if you have any doubts, please feel free to add them in comments. I'll try to answer as much as I can. Till then, take care. See you in the next video.